was just a pair of eyes like that looking at me.
I need to call the police.
I will clap your fat cheeks. Right.
How the fuck can I compete with Volivants?
Beth didn't believe me, so I proved it, and now we're in love.
So,
a man watched me take a shit the other day.
Obviously,
It's exactly how it sounds.
the funniest things in life are the biggest surprises. That was the last thing.
I mean, it wasn't for me.
Jesus.
It wasn't for me. I feel like I could have given you 100 quid and 1,000 guesses. It said, guess what I'm going to say next. A man watched me take a shit, Liam.
Who's the man?
I want to make one thing clear to you. You've got it.
I'm such a child. Oh, poo jokes set me off.
I don't know the man. That's the worst part. I don't know the man. So we did the show on Wednesday. I've been dying to tell you about this. It's the weirdest thing for our friendship, genuinely. The weirdest thing for our friendship, because I've been wanting to tell you this. I was like, no, I'll save it for the podcast.
Sorry, mate. I'm going to have to just give me a second.
I mean, we can't really have dead air, because then people are going to think it's porn.
That's true. But just, I've got so many questions, and I feel like I need to give you the chance to. Okay, right.
I'll answer them. Don't you worry. I've prepared for such an event.
Okay, so when you say a man,
the information I've given you so far is a man watched me take a shit.
Yeah. So there's a difference between someone catching you take a shit.
No.
And someone watching you.
He
take
watched
a
me
shit.
take a shit.
So he what? Like the entire thing?
I do not know.
So at what point did you become aware of this? How far through the shit?
Okay, so did the show on Wednesday. Dr. Feelgood, Stockport, Feel Good Comedy, pro lineup. I host it every week. Come down, check it out. Just a little plug there. People might watch you take a shit. Right.
Yeah, come for the shit. Stay for the comedy.
Yeah.
That's the tagline.
So, okay, right. You're going to have no idea where this story's going, man. A well-known TV soap star was in the audience that night. I'll tell you who it was later. I don't want to fucking name drop. But a well-known TV soap star was at the show.
Can you at least tell our audience the soap?
Emmerdale.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I know of him. Don't know much about him. You know what I mean? Like my mum used to. Whenever I was sat in the living room, my mum had it on. I just know he exists. You know what I mean? So
that's
he's
Aaron's
in the
way
show.
of trying to convince us all he doesn't watch Emmerdale. He fucking loves a dingle him. He got caught with a dingle hanging out of his ass.
Sounds like a racial slur, that, doesn't
it? Love a bit of dingle.
So yeah. So at the show, General Manager Pete comes up to me, diamond of a man. He goes, "We've got XYZ in from XYZ TV, from Emmerdale, in tonight."
Sorry to interrupt, mate. Still active on the show?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't taking the piss. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
I just know he exists.
Yeah, perfect alibi. Continue.
I love how I'm not afraid to tell you that I watch. I'm not afraid to tell you that I had someone watch me take a shit, but I'm like, I never watch Emmerdale. Leave me alone.
But God forbid anyone thinks I watch fucking soap operas.
So at the show, Pete comes up to me. He goes, "We've got XYZ in from Emmerdale tonight. They've not paid to get in. Basically, they've got the way in because he's on the show, and they're going to sort of promote the night. But they're going to be dickheads. I can already tell they're going to be dickheads." Now, the reason he knows this is because this particular... I'm not narrowing it fucking down now, but I'm going to tell you the full story anyway, because, you know, why the fuck not? No one's listening anyway.
My mum is.
Well, I looked to see if she was there then.
She stood behind that camera talking to you, mum.
He's also won the jungle.
Or, do you mean I'm a celebrity? Get me out of here. Won the jungle. Is that the expression?
It'll make sense in a second, right? Because Pete goes, they're going to be dickheads, because I didn't know who he was. This is Pete talking. He goes, I didn't know who he was, but he introduced himself as, "Hi, mate, I'm XYZ, King of the Jungle." Right?
Oh, my God. The
So
fuck do you think
away,
he's fucking Tarzan or something? More like fucking George of the Jungle.
Not even been an I'm a Celeb, just fucking went backpacking for a few weeks.
What an introduction.
Exactly, right?
King of the Jungle.
So Pete says they're going to be dickheads. They've been a nightmare all night. As he was telling me this story, one of this lad's mates got on stage.
Sorry. Still having a King of the Jungle. Bet he won the fucking Welsh one as well.
Yeah.
Still thinks he's fucking King of the Jungle.
I didn't watch it. I've no fucking idea which one he won, to be fair.
Sorry, mate. So you were saying?
Yeah, so he's telling me that they're going to be dickheads. They're going to be hard work. I can just tell. I get a vibe from them. So I'm like, right, all right. As he's telling me this, one of this lad's mates gets on stage and tries talking into the microphone that's not yet plugged in.
Oh, that's a warning sign at any. I've seen it happen loads. As soon as someone's like, take a picture of me at the mic, or there's the mic and I'm talking into it, you just think.
I love it at Hot Water in the green room when you can see him on the screen and no one knows. They're like,
yeah. All the comedians have identified you as a bulb.
Yeah. So yeah, man, he's on the stage talking to a mic. Now I sort of get it if you like. I do understand why people take a picture with the mic. It's a bit corny.
Out, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a night out. You're having fun, but the mic wasn't plugged in, and he's there going, "This thing on."
Testing.
Yeah. He's not got an XLR cable in it. It's just the mic, right? So I'm like, yeah, they're going to be knobheads. We'll just see how it goes, right? And you're probably wondering, how the fuck does this lead to him watching you taking a shit?
I mean, I'd forgotten about the shit.
Yeah. It's a long story. It's a long, drawn-out story. Right?
I just want to know who the King of the Jungle is.
I'll tell you later.
Is it Kerry Katona?
Yeah. She
won it, didn't she?
I don't know, did she?
Yeah, back in the day.
It was Peter Andre. Did he win? It wasn't Peter Andre, yeah, well-known soap star. Imagine. So anyway... You're distracting me. I've got too much ADD.
Stuck in me fucking head. I stop and stare at you.
Yeah.
Walking on the shore.
We'll get demonetized. It's too clear. Right. So I'm in the toilet. I go to take a shit. I'm having my pre-show shit. Right. And I'm just zoned out. Don't really think anything of it. I'm having my shit. I'm on my phone.
Is it a routine thing? Pre-show shit.
I mean, I do a shit every day.
Yeah, but pre-show. I mean, fucking first thing in the morning's not a pre-show shit, even if it's before the show.
I mean, it is still it's still pre-show.
It used to be.
Let's not get caught up in the
shit. The main thing of the story.
You're not letting me tell the story.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
But I need detail. Go on. Continue.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you the colour if you want. No.
I mean, that is what I do not want to know.
Fair enough. So, I'm going in taking a shit. I'm sat there minding my own business. I'm on my phone playing 8-ball pool, chilling. And this guy, the guy that's won the jungle, who's on Emmerdale, he goes in the cubicle next to me. And I know it was him because his mate came in after him, right? And he's obviously saying his name and stuff, and I can just tell by the voice.
Did you ever think that comedy would lead you to this place? Shitting next to a soap star?
Can't say I've ever thought about it. I've been in worse places.
The toilets in there as well, they're like clean, but it's like prison toilets as well.
Yeah, that's the sort of hack joke that every comic makes when they get there now. Yeah,
I'm a hack.
And we knew that. Right, so he comes in and he goes in the cubicle next to me. His mate follows him in, and I just again didn't think anything of it. It's still on my phone, and they're talking to each other. And then the guy is like banging about and making noises down there. So I'm just sort of like, fucking like being a bit, but whatever. It's just on my phone, fucking fighting against these guys on 8-ball pool and all that shit, trying to win. Got my win streak up to 9 the other day. I lost it. I was fuming. By the by,
you still pooing at this point, or are you just 8-balling and just haven't wiped yet?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because when you're playing games and shit on your phone while you're pooing, there is that transition period.
Yeah.
And then you become aware and you're
minutes,
like, I actually finished shitting ages ago.
Yeah.
I've been wallowing in my own filth because I want to beat this Indonesian kid at 8-ball pool.
So, long story short, I mean, I can't really say that after a 9-minute story, can I? So... The guy's stood outside, and then the guy in this. It's so hard to not say his name. This is why it's taking so long to get it out.
You
right?
just deliberately stop.
It's Danny Miller. Who gives a fuck? Really, no one cares. Danny Miller from Emmerdale. And the reason I'm saying his name
is because character, or
no, I don't know what his character's got. He's Danny Miller in real life, King of the Jungle. He introduced himself as such, right? Danny Miller. Who gives a fuck? To be honest, no one really cares. And actually, my beef wasn't with Danny Miller. He was actually pretty sound. He was just hammered and a bit pissed, but he wasn't being a dick at all. So. He's in the cubicle next to me. Danny's in the cubicle next to me. His mate stood outside. Danny says to him, he goes, what are you doing out there? And his mate goes, I'm just watching my man in the cubicle next to you. Now,
my guy.
yeah.
I really like the way you snipped it off. Like, what the fuck's he calling you, man?
Well, the worst part is I'm sat there, I'm thinking, I'm my man here. And I'm in the cubicle next to him. That's not what you want, that, is it?
What does he mean he's watching?
Well, this is it, right? So I thought, what could he fucking mean? And I've looked up, and there's a little gap between the wall and the door. It's like this big, and I've looked up, and I'm not kidding. There's just a pair of eyes like that looking at me.
What the fuck? And he's turned to the side to maximise the fucking...
Maximise the fucking view. So, just eyes staring back at me like that. And he fucking... Oh, my God. So he goes...
Mate, we're laughing, but you've been the victim of a sex crime.
Right.
I think we need to call the police.
So I've looked up. So I've looked up.
Sorry, I've gone.
You're fine. So I've looked up. And there's just these eyes.
Did you turn your head to the side to make eye contact?
Like a dog. Like a dog. Trying to go for a walk.
Oh my God.
You need to talk into the mic. Okay.
I mean, I'm wailing like a banshee. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
don't
the
make
mic
it
picked it up. Yeah.
So I just looked up and I'm like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, I'm watching you take a shit. Like I was the fucking dickhead, right? As if I was meant to be like, all right, fair enough, crack on. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I was like, mate, can you fucking not? And he was like, why? What's your beef? It's natural. I said, what's not natural is having a fucking spectator. That's the not natural part. Like, what are you doing? Like, can you fuck off? And he goes, mate, who do you think you're talking to? And I went, the guy that's watching me take a shit, mate. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know who I'm talking to. That's part of the fucking problem, really. And I'm just sat there. I'm like, if I had any shit left in me, it was gone. It was straight out of me.
You snipped it right off.
Exactly.
Fight off like you were ready to fly.
Had a little So I just went, mate, what the fuck are you doing? He's had beef with me, and I've just sort of wiped my ass and got up, and I've gone outside, and I've gone over to the general manager Pete, and I've just said, like, I've just explained what's happened, and he's just gone. He didn't react like you. He's gone, for fuck's sake, because he thought of it as a business, not an owner, but the manager of a business, and if we're
Someone's
being
just been
realistic,
sexually assaulted on the
if
premises.
we're being realistic, it's weird, right?
I'm sorry for laughing.
No, I mean it's fine because when it's me, it's no fucking big deal. If he's watching a girl in there,
yeah, and it is like a communal toilet as well.
And if he watched this, he'd probably go, "Oh, I'd never fucking do that," right? But you don't know that.
I'm not a weirdo. Yeah. Watch a woman take a shit. Do I look like a freak to you, mate?
I've got some class. Fucking hell. Not all men, am I right? Only men.
Yeah, there's no woman who's going into toilets watching fucking compares take a shit, is there?
Absolutely not. So I've gone out and I've told Pete, and he's just gone, for fuck's sake. And he's gone outside, and he's basically, because the guys were outside smoking. So he's gone outside to speak to them, and he's gone, he basically said, like, I've just had someone come out and say, you'll watch, because he doesn't know I'm the compere at this point, which is interesting, because he's never been to the show before. So he doesn't know what he's doing. For all he knows, it's just a random fucking person, which is mind-blowing to me.
What? So if he knew you were the star of the show, that's okay. Because he thought you were a normie, it's weird. Yeah.
It's less fucking odd though. Do you know what I mean? Like it is less fucking.
I mean, I suppose you could just be like, hey, I just saw the compere take a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I ever see. Fucking hell! Why is every celebrity? If I ever see Cilla Black, you know what I mean? Just walking into a toilet.
I might first of all, I'd be shocked because she's been dead for years. I'd probably scream the place down because she's been dead for years.
She really?
Yeah.
Why was the only celebrity I could think of dead?
Because I have a Scouseish accent.
I think it's because I have a word of doing Blind Date, and I was watching it in the car. Not Blind Date, but I was listening to their episode. So What the fuck was I talking about? So he's gone back outside. The guys stood outside, and Pete's gone out to basically go, listen, this is fucking stupid. What were you doing? And he's gone, oh, he just denied ever thinking it was me, and said, oh, I thought it was my mate. Now he didn't, because his mate was in the one next to me, and he actually said, I'm watching my man in the fucking toilet next to you. Right?
He branded you.
He knew full well that I wasn't his mate. The problem I've got with that is, like, that's fine. You know?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying it was fine. I was like, what? Where's the justification for this? But
there's a lot to unpack with that, where Pete goes, what the fuck were you doing? Oh, thought it was my mate. All right, fair enough. No. At no point is that even any better. Well, why are you watching your mate have a shit? Now I've got more questions.
Maybe he's a business manager as well, and he was thinking, if I convince this guy that we're keeping it in-house, don't worry. We're our own cell unit, do you know what I mean? You don't have to manage this issue. We've got our own HR department, mate. And it's been approved. I was watching my mate.
Yeah, fair enough. That does make sense.
Now I look like a fucking
you look like you've thought about it before. So Pete comes back in and he goes, he thought it was his mate. Yada, yada, yada. What can we do? So I've gone, right, all right, no worries. And I spoke to Pete and I said, listen, I'm going to give he said they want so much attention, you can tell. They want attention. They've probably seen me talking to you, so they probably do know it's you that's hosting the show. They want attention. And I said to Pete, I'm not going to give it them. I'm not going to give them any. I'm just going to fucking ignore them and make it almost like, why is he speaking to everyone but us? You know what I mean? And then maybe they'll fuck off. So I get on stage. I'm just speaking to people, just doing typical crowd work, speaking to people on the front and stuff. And they're just talking so loud. And I spoke to Pete and I said, listen, if they are knobs, we just need to get them out. They've not paid. They've got a sense of entitlement clearly from the way that Danny introduced himself.
And the way he watched me take a shit.
And the way he watched me take a shit, yeah, not forgetting that part. And just the fact that they're hammered. So Pete's gone, right, all right, no worries. I'll make sure that they get fucked off.
So sorry, but I just keep hearing in my head, I'm watching my man take a shit.
You've got to think of it from my point of view, where I'm just on my phone and then I look up and just see eyes staring at me.
But to call you my man suggests there's something he saw in you that makes you kindred spirits. Like, yes, last night, genuinely, me and Rebecca are in the cinema. This fella 2 seats down from Rebecca pulls out a Mackey's and Rebecca goes, he's got Mackey's. And I turned and went, my guy. Like,
yeah, as if you've got loads in common.
Like, my guy, what an idea. I'm doing that next time. I saw a kindred spirit in him. What about you fucking pinching one off, minding your own? Maybe he saw you were playing 8-ball pool and he was like, sick game that. My man's taking a shit.
64% win ratio, 9,000 games. That's fucking classic. Right.
My man.
So
you're ignoring them.
Oh, Rona.
Oh, yeah.
So I get on stage, I'm just ignoring them, but they're being so loud. Yeah. And I've sort of tried to say to him, hey, mate,
you've got to address it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I've just sort of, hey, mate, no, you're enjoying the show, whatever. Just please, people have paid tickets. Like, all we can hear is you chatting. Please just keep it down if you don't mind. Anyway, what were you saying, mate? And just not give them a chance to say anything to me. Just like fucking, just probe them, fuck off. Probe them, fuck off, right? So he's just literally ignored me. They looked at me and I seen him in the corner, because you sort of like, I'm looking at this guy now because I've gone back talking to him, but I'm still keeping an eye on them, and they just completely ignored me. And they got louder. Like, they did want attention. They wanted entitlement.
Were they saying stuff at you or
they
to each other?
They were being entitled, is what I'm trying to say. Say what?
Sorry, did you just call them intelligent?
No, entitled.
Were they saying stuff to each other?
Yeah.
Or to you?
No, they were just talking to each other, but so loud, like, so they're not even trying to whisper or keep it down at all. Like, they were just having an actual conversation. They were sat at one of the closest tables to the stage. So it was a nightmare. You can see everyone looking at him. I hated it.
You think as King of the Jungle, high profile that is actually like,
well,
we
this
don't
is my point, and this is why
TV.
He didn't do much wrong, and I'll get to that in a second.
Right. He's got to be aware of, like,
yeah.
Have a word with your Entourage, mate. Have you ever seen that show, Entourage?
No.
Fucking, it's sick.
Is it?
Yes,
So I've just sort of moved on, and then they've carried on talking. I'm speaking to this person, and I'm getting laughs. It's going well the night. Like, they're so up for it. They were great, the audience that night. And I'm getting laughs, and it's all very fine. And they're still getting louder and louder. And I've turned to them, I've gone, lads, I've already asked you once, like, what's happening here? And then the guy that watched me take a shit, just
my guy.
yeah, my man. He just goes, "Oh, am I not allowed to talk? No. What's your problem?" Like that. And I just thought I'm just going to have to say something that just fucks him off straight away. That just like shuts him up at least. Or so I thought, right? So I went, "Hang on, aren't you the one that watched me take a shit?"
You told everyone!
And the room just sort of erupted as if to go, "What the fuck?" Like the same way you did, like that was the least, like we could have had all these guesses of what he was going to say. And so the room's really on board, right? And they go mad for it. But he don't go, "Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Thought you were my pal." And then I'd have gone, "Oh, like that's any less weird, ha ha ha, move on." He just went, "Yeah, still don't know what your issue was with that."
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God.
So
some people are unreal, mate.
Insane,
he
right?
Not I
wish I was making this up, by the way. You can ask Beth, you can ask Pete. I'm name dropping people that were at the show because all of this is fucking true, right? I wish I was embellishing any of this. We will do this a lot on this for in the name of comedy. This is 100% true because I left that show going, I've got 30 minutes for the pod next week and I don't have to plan any of it. So
that's the beauty of fucking weird shit happening. Yeah. That's why he's happy he was sexually assaulted, because he was like, I can at least talk if it kills time on the pod.
Sure. I mean, it's an Edinburgh show, this.
What would you call the show?
Shit happens. I not have that planned, to be fair. I'm really quite pleased with that.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, fuck me. So, he goes, "Still don't know what your issue was with that." And I went, "The issue was somebody watching me take a shit." And I just sort of had a laugh of it. And I've done a lot of the similar jokes that I did at the start of this about, it's not a spectator sport, blah, blah, blah. But he keeps going on like I'm the knobhead. And the crowd are literally going, "No, you're the dickhead." Like, with their reactions. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're laughing and they're going, "What?" Like, you can actually hear people going,
Is this a real person?
Yeah. And I said, because I said to him, "Have you watched anyone else take a shit recently?" And he starts pointing at people in the crowd. He's like, "Yeah, I watched him. I watched them. I watched him before." He's obviously not.
Is Pete like, fuck.
Yeah, he stood at the door like, "Oh my God, this guy's a lunatic."
TripAdvisor's fucked.
Yeah. So I just sort of had to try and probe him away and get him to fuck off, right? They're still sort of being knobs, and I'd made a real show of the rules and like genuinely sort of saying like we had a laugh before, it was all very funny. That's it. He goes, "Oh, you weren't saying anything before," and I went, "I can assure you, mate, I fucking was."
And also, I was a bit vulnerable. Yeah, I was sat on the fucking toilet.
I'm a little less vocal with my pants around my ankles, you weird cunt.
I've got the mic and the power now. Yeah. Before I was literally taking a
I'm
shit.
Amplified at this point.
We're a pussy hole before, man.
So I've just sort of tried to say like, we had a laugh before. Please just sit quiet, enjoy the show. People have paid money. We're all up for a good laugh. Does that sound good? And the crowd goes, "Yeah, no worries." Bring Harvey Hawkins on, and they're just being knobs again. And Harvey handled it great, to be fair. Like, he just had to sort of again probe them away. "Hey guys, just trying to do the show. Please just keep it down." Nice one. Moved on. Rather than trying to engage with them, you could see what the fucking issue was straight away. So he does another 5 minutes, and the guys are just as loud. And he said, "Right, guys, I'm not being funny. If you do want to have a chat, please just go outside. You're being so loud. The rest of the people here can't enjoy the show. It's becoming a bit of a nightmare." And the crowd sort of gets behind Harvey, gives him a bit of applause, and to basically say, like, "Listen, yeah, we agree, fuck off." And the guy goes, "Oh, it's doing me fucking head in this show. We can't say a fucking word."
Oh my fucking, mate, it makes me
And Harvey was just there like, "Yeah, you can't. Like, that's not how it works."
No one goes to the opera and goes, "Fuck this."
And the worst part is, like, we sort of don't mind people talking a show. If you're at a show and you turn to Beck and go, "Oh, that was funny, wasn't it?"
Oh, do you remember when we did that?
Yeah,
so, like,
that's fine. But it's when you're having a conversation, like, it was as if the show wasn't on and they're just having a conversation. They might as well have fucking had mics in front of them. It was ridiculous. But at that point, because of what I've already said to Pete, he just goes over and he intercepts me. He's like, "Right, you need to fuck off out. Yeah. Like, it's not going to work out anymore, boys. You need to get out." And at that point,
I'm king of the fucking jungle. No, I know you said he was Sam.
At that point, he just dips. He's gone. Like, he's the first one up out of his chair. Yeah. And I actually said while I was on stage, because I thought that if I reference the fact that he's been on telly, because no one's really noticed, he had a cap on, like, no one's really noticed, because you don't go, "That's definitely Danny Miller." You just go, "Oh, that guy looks like that person." You just move on with your life. Excuse me. I don't know if the audio picked that up then, but
I didn't hear it, but how dare you?
I know, I feel terrible about that as well.
You've literally been the victim of a crime and you're apologising for burping down the microphone. Do what you want, mate. Take a shit, let everyone watch.
Do you want to watch? We'll monetise this one. Who are we kidding? We're not monetising, fuck all. So I sort of, while I was on stage, I said, hang on, I recognise you. Are you Danny Miller? And he's gone, yeah.
On stage, yeah.
And I've sort of said on stage, I've gone like, fucking hell. You've got a mate who's a recognisable public figure, and you're just fucking watching people take a shit, hoping that would make him go, yeah, actually, I forgot who my mate was. I better quiet down. Didn't work. So we've gone to Pete's gone to kick them out, and Danny's just fucked off. He was so far out of that door because he just doesn't want anything to do with it. And it's a weird position for me because he were obviously hammered, and I don't have anything against him for anything that happened on the night. Like, I didn't really think he was that much of a problem. But at the same time, your mates are a reflection of you, and surely you must know that they're being dickheads.
The thing is, though, everyone's got that dickhead, mate, I think.
Yeah.
We had him. I've got him in mind, and he knows who he is, and I'm not going to name him.
We as in me and you?
Now. No,
I was going to say, because I was like, who?
Me and my mates growing up, there's one of us who was just a wild card, and we would have to, he would get us in situations, and we'd get dragged along with him, but we love him. He was a lovable knobhead. He was like Uncle Knobhead, but...
Yeah, well, this guy wasn't that.
No, but he is to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. It's still tough, though, because at that point, when you're that recognisable...
Yeah, you're a fucking celebrity.
Yeah, you need to calm your mates down, yeah. So he's just fucked off straight away. Harvey's had a great last 10 minutes, but the guy that was the main problem, Pete couldn't get him out. He's sort of done that thing where, like, oh, I know you want to kick me out, and I am going to go, but I'm going to make it seem like I'm going off my own accord. So first,
you can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah. First, I'm going to the bar. I'm going to finish my drink, and then I'm going to go to the toilet. And Pete's sort of like, mate, no, you need to leave. Everyone's looking at them at this point. It's a big scene in the centre of the room, and the guy's screaming in Pete's face, "Don't fucking touch me!" And Pete's going, "Mate, I wouldn't have to touch you. I'm not fighting with you. I wouldn't have to touch you if you just leave. Just leave." And the audience at this point are just going, "Just go. Just fuck off," like screaming at them. Harvey just sort of muscles his way through the set a little bit, and they finally fuck off, and the show sort of resets.
I forgot there was an act on. I thought it was you. Like, obviously you are an act, but you know what Hawkins I mean? Your job is crowd control and stuff. It's different when you're on.
Well, this is it. They hadn't done anything to kick... they hadn't done enough to kick them out before I brought Harvey on, and I thought I'd made a joke, give him a bit of attention, then go, listen, all seriousness, so please do keep it down while the show was on. They weren't having none of it, though. So Harvey's just sort of handled his way through it. Did a great job of it as well, to be fair. And then I've gone back on after Harvey, just basically explained what happened. My main issue with it, because as he was leaving, that guy, he sort of got in my face. And he go, yeah, you weren't saying anything before. You're not saying anything now either, you little shitbag. And I just went, yeah, I'm a shitbag, me, mate. Don't worry about me. I'm a shithouse. Don't worry. See you later.
You literally caught me with my pants around my ankles. Yeah. And I'm a shitbag.
So as he's got in my face, the audience have seen that. I said, oh, you weren't saying anything before. So I've gone back on stage. I was like, I just want to assure you, like I fucking was saying a lot before. Because at no point was I sat on the toilet going, you know what, I could stop this, but this will be great for the stage in a minute. Like, I was just like, mate, will you fuck off?
Like so you were apologising to him as he was watching.
So they got kicked out. The guy then messages Pete on his personal Facebook. I don't know how he found him. Maybe Pete shared a post from the Dr. Feelgood's page or something like that, and messaged him, was calling him a shithouse, saying it's the worst comedy night he's ever been to, blah, 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 and called him a ninja dickhead, which was phenomenal.
Does that mean he's a sly dickhead?
I don't know, because like Pete had a top knot, so I don't know if it was because of that.
I know who Pete is now. That is definitely why he called him a fucking ninja.
So I went back on stage, explained the situation, and got all the crowd to shout "Ninja Dickhead" at Pete. and now he's saved in my phone as Ninja Dickhead. Pete, if you're watching, I don't imagine you will be, but if you're watching, I love you. And you saved my phone as Ninja Dickhead, and all the bar staff call him Ninja Dickhead in the show, in the bar.
Oh, hashtag Ninja Dickhead.
Yeah, that's it.
Mate, what a fuck.
So yeah, man, that was the whole story. But fuck me, man.
What an opening
Someone
section.
watched me take a shit.
I on one hand, I'm so happy that you've brought this to the show, and I got to fucking lose my shit on camera. On the other hand,
I hope the story wasn't too long.
No, I
sorry, I don't know if that caught you. I hope the story wasn't too long and drawn out, but it was just so ridiculous to me.
I loved every minute of the journey,
okay,
mate. I love
not so much me.
Fuck you and your trauma. The shit you went through, I found it dead funny.
It was genuinely concerning though, from like because He'd easily do that to women.
Yeah.
He easily would. And it's not so much a big fucking problem with me, but that guy's a fucking terror. It was really weird. Like when you actually break it down, like, we're having a laugh now. But
that's some dodgy.
He's a weirdo, man. Yeah. He's a proper weirdo. He did the right thing. And there's a difference between what you're saying. Oh, I had this mate back in the day. We don't really hang around with him. Oh, he's matured now. Is that what you said? Yeah, do you still speak to him?
Yeah, he's a good mate.
So he's a good mate of yours. But I bet he wasn't a sex pest.
Moving on to the second section. Round up the first section.
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for downloading the podcast. Listen, if you are watching on YouTube, please do us a favor, drop the video a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It really does help more than you think.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or anywhere that you get your podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating. If you think we're worth less than that, just don't rate it. Don't be a nib end. Don't be a Karen. Do one.
And if you wouldn't mind, give us a follow on social media as well. It's at Spread Negativity Pod on absolutely everything, except for Twitter, where it's at S Negativity Pod, because Twitter is a gobshite, and we didn't realise that has a character limit until we decided on the name. So fuck you, Twitter. Let's get back to the episode.
I had an interesting gig on Saturday.
Did I watch you take a shit?
I mean, it wasn't that interesting, to be fair.
Did
but
you
it was
take a shit on stage? I mean, die in your ass.
I did a 50th birthday in Runcorn.
Off the back of the podcast.
Well, the gig made me think, I never want to come to Runcorn again. Forgetting I'm here on Monday. It's where we record now.
Amazing.
Yeah, I did a 50th birthday at Runcorn.
It's sort of like your day job, innit? I never want to be here again, and then you're there for 40 years.
Do you ever get like a mad gig and you just take it because you think it's going to be an experience? It was paid, so I was like, I'm getting paid. It's going to be an experience anyway.
Yeah, I try and take pretty rough gigs like that, knowing that, like, I've been doing brunch shows at the minute. And you've seen them on my Instagram.
But sorry, it just blows me mind. Like, Joe will be banging with this sausage, eggs, and toast.
It's not so much that; it's a bottomless brunch. So it's people getting hammered
at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
before midday. Yeah,
12 till 3 o'clock. It is.
That's not brunch. That's dinner. So it's already bad marketing. I'm angry.
I mean, I think it starts at like 11:30. People get there for then ish. Shut up! I didn't plan it. They just booked me.
Talk me through the admin, Aaron.
Yeah. But it's a lot of just like drag acts and stuff, and
what, as well as comedy, like, or do you mean
it's not comedy? Some of them are. Some of them, like, they have a comedy show on while people are, drinking and stuff. And that one was pretty decent, actually. I really enjoyed that one. But the drag one just doesn't. They're not there for me. I'm not.
What are you doing there?
You've got to go on and host, so I just MC it.
Oh, okay.
And then there'll be like a 30-minute break. I won't bring an act on or anything. I'll go on and do 10 to 15 minutes. There'll be a 30-minute break, and then I introduce the drag act or the tribute act or whatever's on that day.
Yeah.
But it's all women, of course it is. So it's like 100 women, all absolutely steaming, and they've got no interest in listening to you. And it's very like, the first one was worse than the last one that I just did. And I sort of I got them on board, like there was a GP receptionist, and they're fucking prime for the picking at this point. I've had a few GP receptionists. I actually put a clip online of one of them, and I just basically call them vermin, because they are.
I mean, they're having a terrible time of it, inundated with calls, probably hate the job. They come for a night out. And this
day out.
Oh yeah, day out.
We've just discussed that. Breakfast. Get your admin right. So yeah, I had a bit of fun with that, but then as soon as you're done, they're like, "Oh, he's done that joke right. Reset. I'm going to go talk to you again." 3 minutes later, though, "Oh, what was he saying? Oh, that was funny." Reset. And it was just, they're hard work. Yeah. So, but my point being, I'm liking being in that situation where no one's interested because it makes the other gigs easier.
It's like a test and a challenge, I think. Because when I saw that, I didn't shy away when it was like, "Do you want to do a 50th?" Again, like I said, it was paid, and I was just like, it's stage time. And it's going to be mad. It's going to be mad. Worst case scenario, I've got something to moan about.
Yeah.
Which is where we are now.
Yeah.
Because it was the worst case scenario.
Is this you off your chest to the end of the
show? No, it's not.
You've got more than one thing. Okay, good.
Spread negativity, lad. Theme of the podcast.
Yeah, man. How was it then? What happened? Was it just...
So my thoughts straight away are, Who wants this? Who wants this? If it was my birthday party, no matter what age I'm turning, right? 50th's a fucking milestone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, if I'm having a drink, if I'm having all my family and friends who I don't see all the time and that, they're coming, like, you know, we're having a party, I've paid for a function room, what you want me to just sit in silence and listen to some knobhead tell stories? That's not what you want to do. You want to chat to your mates. So I had expectations of what it would be. And I'm trying to say to myself, you could be wrong. Do you know what I mean? It could be like different. It could, maybe they are in the mood for comedy. Maybe this person's like a proper comedy fan. And this is what they want. And I walked in, mate, and it was like it was like Shameless. It was like the Chatsworth estate. I walked in and it was just going off. The first thing someone said to me is, "Where's your fancy dress?" And I went, "What?" And they went, "It's an 80s night." Where's your fancy dress?
No one told you. You were just meant to pluck that out of your ass.
Yeah. An 80s night, like...
Explains the age of the women in there.
I mean, mate, to be fair, the tunes were banging. So I walked in and they were fucking banging tunes. Bon Jovi, I'm all about that.
What was your fee?
What
we can bleep it if you don't.
I'm not saying how much I'm worth because I want people to pay me more than I'm worth. But this fee was what I'm worth.
Okay.
It wasn't more than I'm worth. It's what I'm worth. Like, it was an all right fee.
Can't believe you did it for 30 quid. That's a nightmare, that.
Yeah, I got paid more than that. 35 was expensive.
Yeah.
And I did it with a you know, a mate of mine. I don't know if he wants to be named. Fuck it, Carl Porter did the gig.
Oh, Carl, yeah.
So
Carl's
it was sound.
He's good for that sort of night, I think.
Like me
because he's very act out, isn't he? You've got to look at him.
Me and him were dead relieved. That we were just happy that it was each other because we were like, we're going through this together, and it made it funnier. Yeah. It made it more fun because we were like, what the fuck is this gonna be like? And when we walked in and saw what it was like, we were like, see you on the other side, lad. It was like we were in fucking World War I trenches. You know what I mean? Just put your head down and run across no man's land. We're gonna get through this together, lad. Carl's got me on his fucking shoulders, carrying me.
Have you ever seen the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
You're Mags. And the whack of that guy on the second one. I watched it last night.
Who's Jennifer Lawrence?
I don't know. 50th birthday woman. You're there to protect her.
It was a fella called Russ whose 50th birthday it was, right?
Oh, right. So it wasn't a woman.
Him and his missus were dressed as, it was an 80s night, they were dressed as, do you know that old, like, caricature of Scousers with, like, the wigs and the mustache, like, calm down, like that. Shell suits. No, is this, like, lost on you? Maybe I'm just aware of it because of where I'm from, which is Wallasey. I cannot say I'm from Liverpool because people from Liverpool will fucking go sick as soon as they find out that I'm from Wallasey.
I would have just not mentioned it at all.
I know,
now they might not know you're from Wallasey, but now they're going to think, oh, I'm not watching that Wolves podcast.
Yeah, I enjoyed that lad getting watched taking a shit. Fuck the Wool, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Manchester Wool. I don't know what you
Mankwall. They were dressed like that, and we walk in, and no one gives it. I mean, obviously the comedy night's not started; it's being set up, so they're all chatting. It's dead lady. The compere gets up, and
it's a compere. Who is it?
It was a Lofthouse gig, comedy Lofthouse. So it was Matt who was the compere, not Adam, and he was the one who sorted the night out.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what you're on about then. Yeah, Matt Downey and Adam Anwar. Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah. I don't know if it was branded Lofthouse.
He's got some really good gigs in.
Exactly, yeah. I love doing the Lofthouse open mics because for open mics, they consistently get crowds in, crowds that are up for it. They do them in bars and stuff. So I've got that in the back of my mind as well. Do you know what I mean? It's Lofthouse, like they do decent gigs. Nice. So I could be surprised.
Nope.
Luckily enough, Carl opened. So I got to see what I was in store for. I got to prepare to know what was going to happen. Mate, at first they gave him, they just basically didn't stop talking.
Yeah.
They did not care.
This is what the brunch show was like for me.
They did not care at all. And the woman whose fella's birthday it was kept like barging through, like, excuse me, getting the mic off Carl, and was going, we all shut the fuck up now. We've paid good money for this. Listen.
You might need to do it into the mic because you're not being that loud.
I know. I just don't want to...
You've moved it away and then continued to whisper.
Like she was going sick, right? Which doesn't make everyone. That doesn't make a room full of people go, you know what? Yeah, sound. I'll pay attention now. It makes you go fuck off and carry on doing what you're doing, doesn't it? And mate, she was the loudest, hilarious person. She was on our side. I was still petrified of her. She was that much of a nutter. So after her like declaring that, I mean, Carl did the best thing I think a comic can do at a mad gig, and just not care either and make the comedians laugh. Carl was just all this I was killing myself laughing because I couldn't believe what was
doing
happening.
His axe out, running towards you.
Mate, at one point we were on like a little raised like level. I don't want to call it a green room. Like it was just literally like a couple of stairs.
We were like a balcony.
Yeah, kind of.
What's it called when they look over the balcony and they've got a treatser with them? Is it like Nuremberg?
I don't the reference is lost on me.
I'll show you.
But like, it was kind of like, do you know, just at a pub, there's just some stairs and a little raised bit, but there was like a barrier there. So we were sat behind it, kind of looking over, and I suggested that the mic be put in front of that, so we were on the same level as the crowd rather than being above them and half blocked off. It would have just been weird. So I was sat behind and Carl was doing a bit, and he just was like, they weren't paying attention. He just turned around to me and he went, "Hey, look, I can do the elevator here," and just started like going down, like disappearing behind the barrier. Just for
escalator, you mean?
No, he did an elevator straight. I was disappointed he didn't do the stairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he used his act out ability to throw in an elevator. And it was just absolute pandemonium, mate. Like during when I got up, so I got up and I just thought, I'm not even trying. I'm literally just going to chat to whoever wants to pay attention. And I had loads of fun. It was dead fun. I actually had loads of fun. I was dead chilled. I was dead relaxed because who gives a shit? You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
They're not even going to remember you. If they've done the birthday right, they've forgot you existed.
Yeah, exactly. I was just chill, just speaking to them. I conducted a few social experiments. I was like, hey, these are all like, to the people who pay attention, I was like, these are all pissed.
What, just drop a tenner on the floor, see who picks it up and tells them it's you?
I was like, well, like Carl said during his set, he was like, all I've really known about Runcorn before is like 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, and they all erupted. They erupted as if it was amazing. So I was like, hey, do you reckon if I just like say 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, they'll all go sick? And they were like, just try it, lads. So I was like, 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. Way, they blew up. Burn it. And I was like, do you reckon if I just start singing Agadoo, they'll all join in? They were like, go for it, lad. I was like, God. The whole crowd's going, do.
God.
It was just fucking bullshit, but I was just looking at my watch. I was like, I'm going to do me time. I'm a professional. You've got me here for 20 minutes. This old fella,
like it or not, I'm not fucking leaving.
This old fella was like, stop, like, what are you doing checking your watch? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I being rude? Am I the fucking rude one in this situation?
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that I was the dickhead suddenly. Okay, no worries. Yeah.
And I was like, I will fucking slap that flat clap clean off your head. Flat clap. I will clap that fat. I will slap that.
I will clap your fat cheeks.
I will watch you take a shit.
Yeah.
And it was just like complete disinterest, mate. But I had surprisingly, I had fun. The woman who was screaming about no one paying attention also was like, right, we're bringing on the X act, but I'm going to do the buffet as well. She announced the buffet at the same time as me, and I'm like, how the fuck can I compete with Volavants? She's got Volavants out. What the fuck's going on here? I was like, this is mental. I actually did have an all right gig, considering. I mean,
Carl set it up for you though, didn't he? He loosened the jar.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, with the no man's land analogy, Carl took a good few bullets, loosened it up for me. But you know what? He did the best that you fucking can do in a situation like that. You know yourself. There's nothing worse.
No, it is a nightmare. And then, like I say, them brunch club gigs have been tough for me because like they're just not interested in listening to you, and they're just all so hammered and. They're just weird, just odd gigs in general. Like I have to sort of like when for example, it was an ABBA tribute at the last one. Yeah. Or not a tribute, but just like an ABBA duo that are doing ABBA songs or whatever. Apparently, you can't call them a tribute because there's not 4 of them. So no one's asked. You know what I mean? These are C and double anyway. Like, don't worry, they're gonna think there's 4 here. But they were like, no, calls an ABBA duo. So I did. And I just sort of like make myself scarce and go and stand at the bar, and you just get mithered. And one of them, a girl came up to me and she goes, what's your Instagram? Want to follow you on Instagram. I really liked your stuff. So I was like, right, sounds, no worries. I've opened my phone and there's a picture of Beth as my lock screen because I just want people to know that I've got a girlfriend because, I love her. So there's a picture of her as my lock screen. She sees my lock screen and she goes, wait, have you got a girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I don't think I want to follow you on Instagram then. And I was like, why were you following me in the first place? And she's like, well, because I thought you're funny. I was like, exactly. Like, you're not trying to fucking finger my arsehole. Like, you can just follow me on Instagram. Like, it'll be fine. Like, don't worry. And she goes, all right, I'll follow you then. Right, 1 sec. And she follows me on Instagram. And then she goes, do you follow your girlfriend on Instagram? I said, yeah. And she clicks my following and goes, right, what's her name? I want to message her and see if it's okay to follow you. I was like, mate.
You're making it look sussy.
Yeah, Beth said that. Because I told Beth this.
That's
the thing. She was like,
suspect.
now I'm more like suspect about her intentions. Yeah. And I just said, listen.
Do you mind that I want to shag your fella?
Yeah. Well, she goes, listen. I just sort of said to her, listen, she gets it. It comes with, it's the nature of the fucking beast, I guess. I don't know if that's the right turn of phrase, but that she understands, don't worry, like, it's fine. And she goes, well, I wouldn't want my boyfriend just being followed by random girls. I said, well, your boyfriend probably doesn't stand on a stage 5 nights a week. She gets it. Don't stress.
You only allowed male fans.
Yeah, yeah, apparently so. Imagine.
the only fans that have sexually assaulted you in the past. Yeah, the only demographic.
I'll be honest, I don't think he was a fan.
Not if you stand up.
Yeah.
But if you sit down, he was a big fan.
Yeah. So yeah, man, and I just got loads of that. Like I spoke to a girl on the front row at one of them. I probably shouldn't say this because this is the thing she was worried about in the first place. But I spoke to a girl on the front row straight away. Obviously, it's a bottomless brunch, and I said, and she was drinking a coffee. So straight away, I've like turned to her and I was like, why are you drinking a coffee? Because you've got to sort of be like, oh, we're all getting good and fucked up. That's the sort of thing you've got to be doing when you're there. So I was just like, hang on, you're drinking a coffee, girl. You got 3 drinks. It's bottomless brunch. You're drinking a coffee. And a mate goes, oh, she had a big night last night. She didn't get any sleep. And I was like, all right, fucking 8-ball pool, was it? No, I'm joking.
We better get sponsored by this fucking 8-ball pool.
I would love that. Just give me some free coins.
Just give him the golden queue. That's all he wants.
Yeah. I've got a UK queue at the minute. It feels a little bit BNP.
Fucking stick to your fuck 8-ball pool and stick to your stuff. It feels a bit BNP. Do they still exist?
The queue or the BNP?
The BNP?
I don't know. Not been much of a follower of them, to be honest. So yeah. Recently. So she goes, oh, she had a big night last night. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, obviously with a boy. Well done you. Pleased for you. Not really asked, to be honest. Like, I wasn't being a no about it. I was just like, oh, well done you. Yeah, good stuff. Well, you still got to, after you've had your coffee, you've got to get photos up. And they were like, yeah, great stuff. No worries. So I've done my stuff and I've come off and it's in the interval and I'm just sort of stood there and a mate comes up to me and she goes, oh, my friend's really annoyed that I threw her under the bus and told her that actually she was with a boy last night. And I went, why? And she went, well, she's worried that because I told you that she was with a boy that you won't want her. And I went, I'll be honest, I've got other reasons. Like me, mate, I've got a girlfriend. I love her a lot. Makes no difference to me. I'll be honest.
They all just think you were game as fuck.
Well, this is the thing. Like I'm very realistic about how I look. You know what I mean? I'm a solid 5 on a good day, but I'm the only guy in the room. There's like 4 lads there, and there's 100 women. So it's fucking. So I'll be honest.
10. What was that?
Yeah, that thing we were talking about on that Hall Pass movie. Yeah. I just surrounded myself with...
there's a lineup of drag queens and you, and they're like, easy 10.
And they couldn't work out who was who. So yeah, she comes over and she's like, well, she's worried you want one. I was like, I've got a girlfriend, like, don't worry, it makes no difference either way. At that point, the mate comes over and she didn't know her mate was going to, like, because they've sort of done the thing like, oh, you go and talk to him, you know what I mean? And then she, like, her mate comes over at that point and she sort of fills her in that I've got a girlfriend. And then the girl starts having like near panic attack levels of anxiety about me outing her on stage for it.
Oh, it's fancying her.
Yeah.
It's like her fancying you.
Yeah. And I said, in what world would I do that?
Oh, like, she fancies me, by the way.
Yeah.
And I said no. Isn't that dead funny?
Yeah, hilarious. I'm full of bants like that.
Look like
yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it was just really weird, man. She starts having like nearly a panic attack over it, and I was like, "What? In what world would I do that? Like, chill out. Like, it will be fine." And she goes, "Right, okay, only if you promise." But this is a sort of fucking like this is how pissed they are. Do you know what I mean? This is the sort of clientele that it's got there, and you can't perform to that. Like they're so hammered, and you know everyone's nice enough. I mean, I had one woman come up to me, like I'm making it sound like all these girls were just moist for me. They weren't.
No, but
two people
I mean,
came
let's
up
be honest.
to me.
Statistically, 2 or 3 out of like an entire room. That's like low statistically.
Yeah. Well, one of them came up to me and she tried to pimp me out of a fucking 50-year-old divorced mum. I wish I was making that up. She comes up to me and she goes, this is my mum. She's newly divorced.
Oh, her mum?
Yeah,
I thought you said a mum?
Yeah, no, her mum. So they're out as like a big group. It was her mum's birthday. And she goes, this is my mum. She's newly divorced. I was like, all right, okay. Oh, and it's a birthday. I was like, all right, okay, yeah, good. And she's like, she is divorced though. And I went, right, what do you mean? And she was like, well, she's divorced. And I was like, I'd not asked. I was like, I think she might be a bit old for me, regardless.
Are you okay? You've had quite the week, haven't you?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Is this a podcast or therapy? Are you all right?
It's a little of both, I'll be honest.
You've been objectified by...
Well, I said to her, I was like, I think she's a bit old for me. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm 25, girl. And she's like, yeah. And I went, well, you're probably more my speed. And
then she's like, go ahead then.
Yeah, no, she was like, actually, no. Yeah, it's just really weird, man. Like they were all weirdly like they were pinching my ass and stuff, and they'd make like a circle around them, and they're trying to throw me into the middle. I felt a bit like a piñata, you know what I mean? Just in the middle, and they're all just fucking attacking me.
Dude, you've had a week.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, man, it was a lot. And then, but yeah, like I say, with every positive becomes a negative, and a girl came up to me and she went, "What was that you were trying to do up there?" And I went, "I don't know either, girl. I'll be honest."
Comedy, yeah.
And she went, "Were you trying to be a comedian?" I was like, "No, actually. Why did you think I was?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "All right, cool." She just walked away.
That was the one thing about my experience, was the people who were paying attention, were on board, had that like, there was that unspoken understanding, and they were like dead happy, like that like, you know, that was good. That made you had that was a tough room.
Yeah.
So they were like on board with me and on my side. Yeah. To be fair, no one was a knob.
No one really was here. They're just so.
I mean,
like, they're just
pinching your ass and stuff isn't all right.
Yeah,
I know you shrug it off because you're not bothered.
Yeah, I mean, again though, like you say, it's just just an odd setup, the whole gig. And the sight lines are horrendous. There's a pillar right in front of the stage. So if I'm stood on one side of the pillar, that side of the room can't see me, and then vice versa. So no one's paying attention. But by the by, anyway.
I had a fella shout at me in the middle of it, just, I went, what? I was like, what, mate? He had no teeth. I couldn't lip read because it was all gummy and that. I was trying to make out, and I went, what? And he went, do you want a line? I was like, no, mate, I'm all right, you know.
I feel like you should stop though.
I had the worst lookalike shout out ever as well.
Really?
I mean, look at me. Come on, fat white bearded guy. I get lookalike shouts all the time. This person looks like you. You look like this character. I get sent them by friends in WhatsApps and Facebook. It's a recurring theme. And I'm not bothered. They're like, another person I look like. This was the fucking shittest one I have ever heard, and it was from Flat Cap Old Fella. As I was walking away from the
full name, that
that was his first name was Flat Cap. Surname Old Fella. And
Double Barrett? Double Barrett? Double barrel?
First name, surname, 2 names.
Fuck.
Old Fella's one word.
No, but double-barreled flat cap and Old Fella.
It's not. As I was like walking...
Posh runk on that.
As I was walking to the car, he was just like the last obstacle. Joe, I was walking past people, he was the last obstacle.
Takeshi's Castle.
just so I didn't have to speak to him, I just went, Flat Cap's here, leg it, Carl. And I just started running to the car as much as I can run. And he just shouted behind me, he just went, Richard Osmond, pointless. I was like, what the fuck? Now, I don't know, do you know what, now I've said that out loud, maybe he was talking about me set. And it wasn't actually a fucking lookalike shout. Maybe he was just like, why are you here?
Yeah.
I look nothing like Richard Osmond from Pointless.
You've just got glasses and... Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You looked at me then like he didn't.
No, but I mean, like, that's literally it, isn't it? Glasses
and dark hair. And
yeah. Fuck that old guy. How are we?
Not very funny.
Pointless.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't think we have time for questions, you know. I think we might just have to...
How long have we done?
We've got 5 minutes on the clock. Professional.
Sick. Fuck it, let's just do the questions.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Right, okay. It's been a fun one, though. I mean, we've not done many, but this one's the best one.
Do you want to ask me a question first, or do you want me to ask you a question?
We need to get rid of this clunkiness. Just ask a question.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to stop with the fucking...
No, I'm flirting with your Aaron. I'm playing hard to get... Are you going to ask me?
You could just go. I'm not going to be like, hang on, we didn't talk about this. Maybe I need to go first. Just ask a question.
So the question I want to ask you this week.
Okay, good stuff. Hit me.
Do you have any useless talents? What's your like most useless talent?
I look really good when I'm taking a shit.
Apparently so.
Fucking hell. Okay. I mean, this isn't a talent at all, but I feel like it's pretty useless and I like it. I can do it. Not many people can. But I can quote Madagascar word for word.
What, the entire film?
Pretty much. You could get a video up now, pause it, and ask me what the next line is, I'd tell you.
You being fucking serious?
I'm fucking serious, man. I watched it a lot.
Why that film?
I don't know. I just watched it a lot.
How old were you when it came out?
I have no
14?
idea. Something like that, brother. Yeah. Didn't have a lot of friends. Only had one video.
Like word for word, you can quote Madagascar.
Pretty much, yeah. I can do a pretty good impression of King Julian as well.
Go on, do it.
That's okay. I got the bigger crown.
He's the one.
He's the king.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are because I'm not a sex offender and I have not watched Madagascar.
You keep saying that about everything that I'm into and it's making me a little bit sad. Last week, Ready Breck. This week, Madagascar. Can you just give me one? Give me something. But yeah, man, Beth didn't believe me, so I proved it and now we're in love. Next question.
After you did an hour and a half performance of the entire movie playing all characters.
She was moist.
Yeah, I can imagine that's an impressive feat. Like.
Yeah, it was in, you asked the question, that's my answer.
Get an answer.
Have you got a useless talent?
I can, you're not going to believe this, but when I was younger, I was on Weight Watchers for a bit and I lost a fair bit of weight, probably the most weight.
Is that your talent, being on Weight Watchers?
Yeah, I actually lost weight once. That's talent over. Moving on. And there was like a point system, and as part of this point system, like you take into account the weight of things to calculate it in that. And basically, what I'd eat a lot would be like baked potatoes, and I developed this ability. I can guess the weight of a potato.
Like the Martian. just one baked potato a day for 365 sol days.
As a snack, I would drink gravy in a cup. Genuinely, which is not healthy. That's like these mad diets. Like, yeah, they work and you lose weight, but the salt intake of drinking gravy in a cup, it was not good for me. But I can guess the weight of a potato just by looking at it. Give me any spud. Next podcast, bring a fucking kilogram bag of spuds and a set of scales. I'll get everything.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Yeah. I'm full of tricks like that.
That's why I'm claiming this, because I know he'll never ask me to prove it.
No, yeah. You weren't going to get Madagascar up at any point there, were you?
I mean, well, we've limited time. I can't play the movie. That's a good shout.
Maybe that'll be a good. Test. If we ever get a Patreon, that'll be a Patreon special. Just watching me watch Madagascar.
Me watching it like with glee.
The worst part is that's not fun for anyone. Who likes anyone that talks during a movie? I just recited a script along. Of course they're going to throw poo at him. Shut up. Fucking hell. I've got another. I could have done with that last week, actually. A couple of them penguins.
I thought you meant throwing poo at him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I could have done with doing that. Yeah. Do you want to save my question for you for the next one, and we'll just we'll wrap it up with the off your chest section.
I've got another talent I can demonstrate on camera.
Okay.
But it's
is it going to be something creepy like when you curl your tongue or you fucking?
It is kind of. It involves male nudity. I don't know if you want to see it, but it's a party trick of mine.
Oh.
I have innie nips.
Oh yeah, no, don't show me that. I don't want to see that. That's not a talent. That's a problem. Now we're trying to bring the views up, but I don't want to.
I feel weird now. You don't want to see me?
No.
I think the audience wants to see me.
I've got a guy that came to a show last week that might be interested.
It's okay. All right, okay. Get in touch.
Yeah.
I also shit often.
Spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com. We will sell you. We could sell them, actually. We could do with some more money. We will send you pictures of Liam's nips. But if you're a bloke, we will sell them to you.
You just getting fucking Insta messages saying, hey, I've heard negativity is not the only thing you're spreading. Get them cheeks open.
Okay. Good stuff. Right. You really have any nips? That's gross.
Yeah, I do. And I can make them ping out. That was my talent, yeah.
Right. No, don't do that. That's absolutely foul. What do you want to get off your chest? If this is your first episode... If this is your first episode, basically the crux and the main sort of theme of the podcast is that we're going to spread a bit of negativity. There's a lot of positivity online. We're going to get rid of it. We don't like it. Everyone always wants to show the really good parts of themselves. We're not going to do that. We're pretty miserable. We're going to bring it to you. We're going to show you how miserable we are, and we're going to make it funny, I guess. And, you know, we have some pretty dull moments as well.
Yeah, me creeping everyone out with me freaky nips. Don't cut it, lad.
As the first section showed, things are going to happen to us, and we're going to make them funny. We're going to bring them, and we're going to share them with you. If you want to share some of your own, then spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And the main section of the show is called Off Your Chest. We're going to have something that will happen to us that week, and we're going to rant about it, get it off our chest. We're going to make it funny as well, hopefully. Fuck it, I'll let you decide. But we're going to try and make it funny, and yeah, because I think there's nothing better than just having a rant about something that's happened.
Get it off your chest.
With that being said, I think we need an intro music for that because I'm getting really tired. It's only been 2 episodes and I'm getting really tired of introducing it.
Okay.
In such a way.
I can play the recorder. Do you want me to rustle something up?
Through his nips as well.
Off your chest. Through me nips as well. Plug it in.
Yeah, I was a bit worried that joke landed flat, to be honest. Like your nips. Okay, right. What do you want to get off your chest this week? What's happened to you? Talk me through it.
Mate, I want to fucking moan about wedding vendors.
Okay.
I'm getting married in September. I went to a wedding.
You want to come? Spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com. I'll be there taking shits if you want to come and see.
If you want to come, CUM. That was too gross, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no need.
I went there. Fuck it. At the end of the episode, I'm going to affect YouTube. So I want to get wedding vendors off my chest, lad. I'm fucking sick of the price of things. We went to a wedding fair where you basically you're just walking through and seeing all the different things you can book for your wedding. And as soon as you put the word wedding in front of it, it just becomes incrementally more expensive. Go to Asda, get a decent cake. How much would you expect to pay?
A decent cake.
Like a good solid, like a sick cake. How much would you pay?
You can get cakes for £1 in Asda.
But I'm talking like extra special, lad. Asda extra special.
Why are you going to Asda for your extra special cake?
How much would it be, do you reckon?
Just for like one of their upmarket cakes?
Yeah.
20 quid?
Yeah, 20 quid, right. A lot to spend on a cake, I think, but still, 20 quid.
It depends, like you say, depending on the occasion.
Like 300 quid for a fucking wedding cake.
Oh, really?
300 quid?
I've got a hack for you. Okay, the only reason you want a wedding cake is so you can get the pictures of cutting the cake. You're not really asked about the specific taste of a wedding cake. There are people out there that apparently they only make half of the cake is polystyrene, not half, fucking hell. 3/4 of the cake is polystyrene, 1/4 is the wedding cake. That's what you can cut.
Yeah.
And then you've got other bits of cake in the back that isn't for your guests and all that sort of shit. You can go to some cake vendors and they will do that for you, and it's 1/3 of the price.
One flaw in that plan.
Okay.
I'm going to be absolutely fucking steaming, and I don't want there to be a 75% chance that I'm going to eat polystyrene, lad. It's toxic. Yeah, but
all you'd really do is cut the cake. No one actually really fucking eats it, and there'll be a point where you know to cut. You know
it's
what
just,
I mean?
it's fucking stupid.
That off pod, but that's worth exploring.
A little life hack.
Yeah, because I've seen it on TikTok.
There's other mad shit as well, like ice cream. You can pay a little fella to rock up with a little ice cream bike on your wedding. How much do you think that'd cost?
Get a Shanak bar to do that. Did you ever see it on the Have a Word live show? Actually. He rocked up with a rickshaw ice cream thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
I wonder if he charged the same price as
he probably fucking wouldn't.
Cream.
I bet he'd do a set and turn up with the ice cream for about 300 quid.
The fella was like it was a selling point. He was like, oh, we've got a speaker on the bike as well, and he was playing fucking Shania Twain. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, we've only spent $2,000 on a fucking singer. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we'll just have you with a fucking megaphone. Yeah, good stuff.
How much do you reckon the quote was for the ice cream?
500 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it 500 quid?
500 quid for someone to turn up.
I wouldn't have guessed that though. I wouldn't, like, if I turned up without you prefacing it by going, oh, it's well expensive, I would have expected him to say about 200 quid tops.
I know.
Just rental of it.
I couldn't believe it, mate. For as someone who doesn't give a fuck either, I'm not really bothered about, like, obviously I want to get married, baby, I love you. I'm excited for the wedding. It's a lot of money to spend on shit like that. I just found myself measuring the cost of things in gadgets. I was like, ice cream? I could get a fucking PlayStation 5 for that.
Hang on, Beck. You said to me when I bought the Rodecaster that actually 500 quid was probably too much, and now you want me to spend £500 on ice cream? Go fuck yourself, girl.
£1,000 for fucking mini golf at the wedding. I think I'd rather buy a MacBook Pro. That's what it was like, lad.
I'd just dip out the wedding and go to Junkyard Golf and then go back.
Oh, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fuming about it.
I get that. That's a lot, innit?
Yeah. And now I've got it off my chest. And I'm still angry.
Mine's sort of a bit similar to yours in that people don't know how to behave in certain scenarios. So weddings would, I guess, be one of them. I went to a restaurant, a little Italian restaurant near us. Really nice, by the way. I took Beth there for Valentine's Day because I'm just so cute. I know, stop it. You shut up, right? So I took her there, and we were eating. It's not an expensive restaurant. But it's not cheap either. You know what I mean? It's not Nando's. Like, I think we had a course each.
Fucking Nando's isn't cheap, lad.
She had one. Well, no, it's not. But it's like she had one drink because she's a fucking nurse, and then she's not a nurse, but she nurses the drinks. I realise some people won't get that. I had about 4 drinks because,
heavy kid,
just a fucking
solid,
just an hard cunt, aren't I?
Bottomless brunch in it.
Yeah.
Do that for work.
But it was like 75 quid. So it's not that cheap, but it's also not that expensive. But we're halfway through the meal and like 8 lads turn up and they sit right next to us on this massive table and they just didn't have a fucking clue where they were, man. Like it became quite funny to us.
I'm imagining this like the chandelier. You're in the Chateau Auvet or whatever the fucking restaurant's called.
But like it's a nice restaurant with pretty nice views and stuff like that, like in the day and all that sort of shit. It's a posh restaurant. Like they've got a little waiting area where you go and sit before your table's
nice
ready.
Views
like
of what?
Funnily enough, Crime Lake in Oldham.
Crime Lake.
It's called Crime Lake. Yeah.
Just see mob bosses fucking dragging bodies, fucking concrete slabs to the shoes.
I don't know why it's called that. Apparently, it's pretty. But I've only been in the house for 4 months, and I'm yet to go near it because it's been wet every day since.
I mean, it is a lake.
The weather, not the lake. Bants, right, good stuff. Yeah, they just didn't know how to behave, man. They were so loud to the point where I was just looking at Beth like, can you fucking believe this? Everyone, it was Valentine's weekend. This restaurant was packed. Everyone was looking at these lads. Everybody. The only thing I can compare it to is, have you ever seen Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. Joe, when he's in the restaurant and all the prayers are coming through to his ears, and it's that level of loud. Yeah. It felt like a school canteen. It felt like that scene in Bruce Almighty. Just ridiculous. Like, they were so unbelievably loud. Then next minute it's his mate's birthday and they bring out a fucking cake and shit. Oh, that's when I sort of gave them carte blanche to be as loud as you want. I thought it was just like a Palentine's sort of thing.
Here's you being a selfish cunt, right? This lad... What if his missus has just left him and it's his birthday and his mates are like, don't worry, lad.
She's probably left him for being stupidly loud in restaurants. And all the power to her, in my opinion. I can't even put it into words how loud they were.
Really,
it was bad? Ridiculous. To the point where I was going, fucking hell, babe, they're a bit loud. And then 10 minutes later I was going, what the fuck is going on? And she's going, keep your voice down. But I knew they would never hear me.
Yeah.
I was going, that is insane, isn't it? That is ridiculous. Yeah. And she's just going to keep your voice down. I was like, no, because no one can hear me. That is outrageous. And oh my God.
Part of me, like, is thinking that I've probably been that group in that situation loads of times.
Yeah, it's tough, innit? Because like I probably have to, but when it's you on the receiving end, it's so annoying. But it's just really annoying when you're just. I just think like just go to anywhere else.
Do you know what's worse than those types of people? The people who are in the restaurant while that's happening and try and get a discount off the bill. Yeah, it's the restaurant's fault. Did you do that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant that the guys, it's my birthday, give me a discount.
No.
Oh, you mean like because they're being
people
like
in your situation and going
like
this, I paid good money for this. I want a fucking 10% discount. Fuck off. It's not the restaurant's fault.
I don't want this to be construed as, Aaron's a miserable twat and he's annoyed when people are loud behind him. He's got a podcast called
Spread Negativity. Don't want Aaron
to... I'm not like, fucking hell, you were being a slightly loud next to me. They were... It was ridiculous. Like I was,
hey mate, do you reckon you could chug this wine in your asshole?
There was like 10 of them, and they were all having separate conversations, and it was all like very blue stuff like that. Yeah. Just fuck her, lad. Just get her dealt with.
Like mimicking it on the fucking table.
I would, but you've ruined my evening, and now she's not hardy anymore. What do you want from me?
Like Jay from the In-Betweeners giving the business to the table.
I had one of them up here. I had one of them down there.
So jamming them like that.
Oh yeah, man! It done me head in. Say what?
So I was trying to eat me lasagna. It was an act out for being in the restaurant. It was shit.
Is that what you call it?
It was a shit. It was a shit joke. And when I had to explain it, it made it shit. Yeah. So what a landing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's
face it. We peaked with you being observed shitting. But what a fucking experience.
I hope not in life, because that's fucking depressing for me. That is bleak. That really is. But yeah, I think that about wraps us up. We try for an hour each week, and I think we've gone quite a bit over that this time round.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks so much for checking this out. Are we done?
We're done.
We're done. Thanks so much for checking it out. Like I said before, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one. We love you. Bye.
If you want nitpicks, get on me.